What's up guys? Today I'm doing a video on why if you have an RX8, a midpipe is probably a good idea. So before I start the video, I have 7 more cooling relay kits that I put together. I spent a lot of time working on those, putting them together. I have them for sale on eBay. Link is in the description. So if you have problems overheating, autocross on the track, click the link in the description and you can buy one of those. I got 7 available, so I may make more in the future. I haven't decided yet. I installed my midpipe a little over a year ago. I've been driving with it ever since. I really like it, and I'm going to show you, I'm just going to go through pros and cons and why I think it's important to have a midpipe if you drive an RX8. So we're going to start off with the pros of the midpipe. First is throttle response. So with this midpipe, I get a lot better throttle response and a lot more pep. When you hit the throttle, it's going to be peppier. It's going to be a little bit more fun to drive. Rev matching is a little bit easier. And you're going to feel that with an aftermarket exhaust usually, but you're not going to get the same amount of power. So with just a catback exhaust, keeping the cat, the power you make is minimal. As soon as you add a midpipe and take out that cat, that's when you're going to start making some power. So just the midpipe itself, you're going to make some power gains. And add a aftermarket exhaust, you're going to get a lot more power, and it's going to be a lot more fun to drive. You're going to have lots of throttle response. So before I put the cat, I put my midpipe on with my catback exhaust from Racing Beat. I got it used as a set, and driving before and after I installed that, it's a big difference, not just in sound but in performance too. It has a lot better throttle response. Besides throttle response, another thing I like about this is the sound. It's going to make it a little bit more raspy, but especially the dual resonator midpipe, it's not loud. Well, not that loud, not too loud to drive. Like I daily drive this car, and taking it on the highway, it's not that bad. I can daily drive it. I mean, it's loud when you give it gas, but just coasting around, it's not too loud. It's not going to give you a headache when you're driving. I think the noise level is perfect. If you want a performance car, you're going to drive on the weekends, have some fun with it. But even if you take it on a longish trip, it's not going to bother you too much. The next thing that I love about the midpipe is by taking out your cat, you can shoot mad flames. Is because you can premix. Premixing is super important to keep your rotors lubed up and so you don't prevent apex seal damage. But if you premix with a catalytic converter, the problem is it can mess up the cat. So by taking that cat out and putting in a midpipe, you're not going to damage your cat, and it's just better for the car. So that's probably the most important reason why you should have a midpipe, is for premixing. Let me go. Thank you. So now to get to the cons of the midpipe. First thing is it won't pass inspection if they smog it. If they do the smog test on it for emissions, because you're taking out your cat, they probably won't pass a visual inspection, and it definitely won't pass emissions. But if you keep your cat with you and you keep that pipe, then you can just switch it in before your inspection, which is what I do. I know it's sort of cheesy, but also if you're driving 5,000 miles, less than 5,000 miles a year, you don't need an emission test, at least for Pennsylvania. So the next con is you're going to get a check engine light. But there is a way to get around that. what I do to get around my check engine light is I also have a cob access port, and I have a tune on that by Mazda Maniac, and what that does is it's taking away my check engine light, because you just send in that you have like a mid-pipe, and for your tune you also want to get rid of that check engine light, and that'll be good. So you won't get a check engine light when you have that tune and the mid-pipe on, which is nice because then you don't have an annoying light on your dash. Now the last con of a mid-pipe is probably the most obvious, and that's the smell. It's going to smell. It's going to smell like gas. The only time you really smell that is if you're going in reverse with your windows down or the air on, or you are stopped at a stoplight and there's a backwind and you have your windows open. That's really the only time that you smell it. And it's not like you're driving in reverse all the time. When you're driving forward normally like this, you don't smell it at all. So it's really not that big of a deal. So, do I recommend a mid-pipe? Absolutely. If you have an ECU tune and you can get out of that check engine light, that's probably the biggest thing it was for me. And getting a cob access port, they help for pepping it up. The ECU tune really will make your car faster, it'll make your car feel more fun, so I recommend that anyway. So if you're gonna go with it, then the mid-pipe should be a no-brainer. There's so many benefits that they really outweigh the magnitude of the cons of it. So if you drive an RX8, I really recommend that you get a mid-pipe. Oh my god, there's a slingshot. Don't usually see those every day. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.